We are live. Peace and Black Power family. Welcome to another episode of the One on One Real Talk weekly session with the not I but we Dream Team. And we definitely got the Dream Team of the Dream Team here assembled today. So shout out to the National Senior Advisor and National Chief of Staff of the dynamic New Order National Human Rights Organization. I say International Human Rights Organization because I could see this organization helping people across the globe. So, we're speaking that out there from our mouth to God's ears. So
Okay, then.
let's welcome to the show and just welcome back to the platform, my brothers. These dynamic warrior brothers. Y'all seen them New Order warriors. Them sisters ain't no joke. You understand what I'm saying? But we got some dynamic brothers and in this dynamic organization, some visionaries that's here to share some things with us. So let's welcome to the show National Senior Advisor, Mr. Greg Giles, and National Chief of Staff, that rock of New Order, our brother John Drummond. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the platform. How you
Hey,
feel?
it's feeling pretty good today, Lodge. How you doing, man? Great to be on the show again.
Yeah. I was delinquent last month. We normally
Hey,
do that, 2 for 2 on Tuesdays on the third Tuesday of the month. But,
yeah,
I was
yeah,
I was ripping and running so fast, and so I'm like, all right, so when Brother Gerald said he wasn't gonna be here, he said Greg was coming. I was like, oh, hey, where's John at? You understand what I'm saying? So
yeah.
to
Give him a
make up
double dose.
for lost time. You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly,
what's
exactly.
been? I know y'all juggling a bunch of things right now with New Order. So what can y'all tell us what's going on? And I just want to hear what do y'all see as the state of the nation going on? Y'all always keep it 100 with me, so keep it 100 with me today.
Well, there's still so much stuff going on right now. Like right now, our CEO Joe Rose, he's actually at a visual for justice for Secura, the young 8-year-old that was shot and killed on the 4th of July. Uh, and they have a community prayer visual tonight at 1690 Melrose Drive at Southwest Atlanta. And that's going to start at 7 p.m. So that's why Mr. Rose is not actually here with us tonight. But his prayers and his concerns are definitely with him right now as he spends time with that family during this hard time for them during their loss. New Order is always there for the people in need when we can be. So I definitely commend Gerald on that. We've also been doing some things across the country, a lot of things going on, but we'll definitely get into a lot of other things that we're actually working on right now, case that we're involved in, and how we're actually helping the community. John, some of the stuff that we've been working on and stuff, can you elaborate a little bit about and to let the people know exactly what we've been doing, some of the other stuff that we've been doing?
Definitely. Shout out to our New Order members across these United States. A lot of them work diligently. What we expect from our members is to not sit at home and be rocks. They made a decision to join the New Order family, and service is the key in that regard. I'd like to take just a second to speak on, what we're dealing with as far as these vigils. Kimberly Hartfield, an outstanding member of our organization, she herself is going to a candlelight visual for Jamarian Robinson. And as you noted just a minute ago, Gerald is going to be at a candlelight visual tonight at 7 for Sequoia Turner. Now, I know the conversation is out across America nationally about Black Lives Matter and that quote unquote movement and what that means. And, the conversation is asked, well, if Black Lives Matter, does it matter to us? The two intertwine as far as the conversation, But you know what? When that Black Lives Matter is put, you know, to you in the pose of a statement, we're not speaking about us. We're speaking about those that would look at us and see us as another color and race of people and want to do harm and cause harm to us, especially with the police and police brutality and the injustices that occur from how they handle us as a people. Now let me speak to the candlelight visual tonight as far as Little Sequoia Turner is concerned. Now that's something we speak to each other about as a people. Has nothing to do with Black Lives Matter. Of course, Black Lives Matter. We know that. But when we speak about the deaths that occur in our communities and the onslaught of killing that's going on in the nation between ourselves, that's a whole nother conversation. And it has to stop. I believe those that are conscious, those that keep their eyes and ears out on the nation, realize what's going on in cities like Chicago and other areas, and in Atlanta, the same Wendy's where Brother Rashard Brooks lost his life to the authorities, to the police. Around the 4th of July is when little Sequoia lost her life. So we have to take note of that. We have to speak strongly that within our communities, there used to be a code. There should still be a street code in regards to senseless murders like this. There was one time where women and children were off hands. You didn't touch, you didn't go near, you didn't involve children or women in what you're dealing with out here in these so-called streets. So just be mindful of that as far as what we need to do as far as we as a people. I'm tired, and I know I'm not the only one that can let that come out their breath. I'm tired of the senseless murders of children. There should not be candlelight vigils for little children, senseless murders of children. Gerald will be there representing New Order. Our organization is built and founded on getting justice. I remember when I first joined the organization around the 4th of July, back in around 2007, 2008 or so, Gerald was speaking and asking for someone who had killed a child around the 4th. A stray bullet had shot, had injured a child, and someone had shot that child, and they were looking for the person that did it. And Gerald had put on a plea on the media asking for the murderer to come and put himself in custody. So here we are. What did I say? 2017, 13, over 10 years later. And I can recall living in Atlanta year after year after year. 4th of July, we all know what goes on the 4th of July, all this shooting and the fireworks and, these stray bullets almost always end up hitting and killing a child. When will it stop? New Order prays for these lives. And, we want to get justice for Sequoia. There's a young person in custody, but no one has come in the community, has stepped forward as witnesses. Now, like I said, there's a street code. In the streets, if you're involved, if you're associated, we know what we call those people that, give information out, but that's not what this is about. You're a citizen of a community, And in those regards, when it involves an innocent person that was not associated, that was not involved, that had nothing to do with these streets, then it is your responsibility to come forward and bring whoever did this to justice, or be the witness for whatever you saw. So that's just something that touched my heart. Like I said, these vigils, Jamarian Robinson, who was shot multiple times, I'm sorry, a few years back. We were on that case back then, and to this day, Jamarian Robinson's family has not received justice for the police in the overkill of his life. And like I said, Kimberly Hartfield is representing New Order. These candlelight vigils, if I'm tired of them, I know the countless families that where these people have lost their lives are certainly tired, are going to these vigils and having these candlelight vigils. And we need to bring attention, but at the same time, we need to stop the senseless killing altogether.
Exactly. And the one thing that I noticed that a lot of people, can you hear me, John?
I certainly can.
Okay, great. One thing that I've noticed that a lot of people are actually talking about right now is that that incident that happened in Aurora, Colorado, where there was a stolen motorcycle that the police were looking for, but instead of pulling over a motorcycle, they actually pulled over a lady and her 4 daughters. And said that it was they had an issue with a stolen vehicle, which the vehicle was not an SUV. The vehicle was a motorcycle, so they should not have been pulled over in the first place. But after they were pulled over, they were then placed on the hot ground during the hot sun in the middle of the day and handcuffed until the law enforcement officers sorted it out. That put me in like an uproar because of the fact that, they're women, they're children as young as 7 years old on the ground in the hot sun on the burning concrete, letting the officers know that they're hurting, that the ground is hot, and officers are still letting them lay on that hot ground. I mean, but that's like, I look at the police not paying attention to a lot of detail, and you could easily see if there's a stolen motorcycle that's not a motorcycle. That's an SUV full of with a family and kids. So I mean, that's some things. That if you're a police officer, you're a person in charge and that has integrity. When you're making these pullovers and arrests, what I'm saying, you got to pay attention to detail. That's how a lot of people get detained and arrested and be locked up for months and years. Based on something that the police overlooked or didn't do their due diligence and homework, and then it's hard for these individuals to get out of jail and prove that they're innocent. That's not me. I know that I had an incident back years ago, maybe over 10 years ago. I had bought an SUV. It was a Ford Explorer from an individual. And when I got it, I know that I have 30 days to get the paperwork transferred over. So I left the tag that was on there when I got it. But just so happens that the tag that was on there, somebody had switched tags and put a stolen tag on there. And so when they pulled me over, they said that the tag wasn't reported stolen, but they could see that the vehicle that I was in was not reported stolen. So opposed to them actually doing their homework and finding out that that vehicle wasn't stolen, they locked me up. They impounded the car before somebody actually took the time out to run the correct VIN numbers, because the first officer on duty, he said he put the VIN number in there 3 times and it didn't come back anything. So he said the vehicle had to have been stolen, it had to have been come from a chop shop or something like that. When in fact, all 3 times he put the wrong number in totally. So, that's something that you don't want to have to deal with, because like I said, they have no regards to your safety when they're taking you out of the vehicle, throwing you in their vehicle. Then you try to tell them what it is, like, check the dash, all of the paperwork for the vehicle, the bill of sale and everything is inside of the dash. They did not even look in the dash. they already had in their mind that this was a stolen vehicle, and I was going to jail for in possession of a stolen vehicle, or so it's kind of funny how they sort of overlook the obvious. So I know it's real easy for things to get escalated and out of hand. So, I just tell my people out there, just be careful and make sure that if you are out there driving, make sure that your paperwork is in order. Make sure that your kids have their seatbelts on. Make sure there's nothing out of the ordinary that they need to pull you over for, to sort of try to avoid some of those issues and stuff, and God forbid, make sure you're not drinking and driving, because that's one thing that, nobody wants a drunk on the streets while you're out there with your families and stuff. But Gerald was also recently in Augusta, out there working with some people. Can you tell the people about that trip to Augusta that Gerald Rose with New Order participated in, John?
Oh, certainly. We had a case where a young lady had requested a complaint form, and once we had that conversation, Gerald ventured down to Augusta to speak on the behalf of the young lady's son and her nephew that had been incarcerated. Now, to speak of, because you spoke briefly on it just a minute ago about rights and wrongs. Now, definitely, if we commit crimes, if we do wrong, we're not asking for a free pass. We're not asking to absolve ourselves from what we do wrong. But what we're asking for is a equal playing field. We're asking that there's not extreme situations in which we're done unjustly, even if we have done wrongs. Last time I checked, there were sentences handed down to you, and they are supposed to go across the board to each and every person, regardless of race, creed, or religion. If you do this crime, you're expected to serve this time. And what Gerald was addressing down there was the inadequate charges that these young men were faced with for the crimes that they were accused of committing. You just spoke about the young ladies out west that were pulled over on a traffic stop because their car, looked like a car that was involved in a situation. Okay, we all make mistakes. We're human. We are human. No matter what our profession, no matter what we do in this life for employment, and those that are sworn to protect and serve, their job is to do just that, is protect and serve. But oftentimes they make mistakes. Oftentimes they, don't pull over the right vehicle. Thing is, does that give them the right to make these ladies, like you said, stay out on the hot, burning black top while they work and rectify and see if this is the car in question? I think not. I think what we have here is a culture that needs to be canceled. This is the cancel culture era. And, the time has come where we need to put a stop to this. Yeah, you get pulled over. Yeah, okay, you're some young ladies. Treat them with the respect you would treat your mother if you are an officer of the law and your mother or daughters or sisters got pulled over, and you would expect an officer of the law to treat them with the same type of respect. That's what we are demanding in 2020 and been demanding for years. But, it's reached a boiling point. It's reached a head. So now what you have seen in our generations and our lifetimes and decades of police brutality and acting a certain way because you can get away with it, that's coming to an end. And I hope these ladies get the justice that they deserve. If someone in our organization can reach out to them, reach out to those families, get some research on some contact information. I would love to speak with them and see if we could get some justice in regards to that. And as far as the council culture, Gerald is also going to be down in Valdosta in on the 28th and the 30th of this month, through the 30th of this month. His father, the iconic and legendary civil rights activist, Reverend Floyd Rose, is fighting his fight down there. Now, Reverend Floyd is on a whole nother level. Now, he put a museum of Black history and started it on a street named after Robert E. Lee.
Exactly.
And he is also fighting for a white racist and his name to be on a street to be changed. Like I said, this is the council culture era, and what needs to be canceled in the Deep South are these statues and these iconic things like streets and pictures and things of that nature of racist white people throughout history. It's time to take them down. A lot of people thought that was like something that was going overboard, or what's the point of taking down these statues and these iconic figures? Okay, well, the time has come.
The time
Yes, go ahead.
is long overdue to take that stuff down, and for people to sit back and and now still have a problem with us taking them down, because I've noticed that as in some locations, as soon as they're taking these statues down, they're coming up with other statues in other places. So I mean, they're fighting us tooth and nail to take down the white supremacy statues, but and even in one location where they had placed up a black protester up somewhere, I heard that within 24 hours, they were told to take it down. But, we have to fight, fire with fire in some instances and stuff like that, because they're not going to go willingly. I say that because of the fact that, if right is right and wrong is wrong. We've said this a million times that, it's almost like good fighting evil right now. So, unless we stay on our guards, and keep up all of the stuff that we're doing, that's the only way we're going to have a fighting chance. And I definitely want to right now give put it out there for the people that aren't really familiar with New Order. You can reach us at on our website at nonhro.org. That's nonhro.org. Or you can call us at 1-800-346-5138. That's 1-800-346-5138. And like I said, there's a lot of stuff that's going on that a lot of people are experiencing. I also looked at this incident where these landscapers were actually working on somebody's property, and the lady came out of her yard and started calling them racial slurs. I'm like, sometimes, it's like, are people going to ever just mind their own business and just leave us alone so that we could just, have a peaceful life and just work in peace and live in peace? But, that's too much like right, so there's always going to be instances where there's injustices or racial tension going on unnecessarily, because a lot of times, stuff could be really avoided if people would just leave us alone. It's like, especially if you're working, if you're a UPS worker and you're being harassed by somebody calling you the N word, or the other incident where at a Burger King, I think that was either today or yesterday, the young white male was yelling at a black female in the restaurant, and then so there was a Burger King attendant or cashier trying to calm the man down, and then he let him know, hey, man, you're on camera. And the guy slapped him and walked out. I mean, is this going to ever stop? There's always stuff going on. But that's why we're actually in place. If we didn't have a lot of these issues, New Order would not even be here. New Order is fighting for
That's
the
right.
rights for the people that are, are a lot of times that are scared to speak up for themselves. So, that's what you're here for. That's what I'm here for. That's what our whole team is here for. Our team is full of integrity. Everybody stands on what they say. They're about what they preach. It's not like it's like idle talk. Everybody gets up and make moves. We have to make moves these days. You can't just stand by and look at things happening on a computer or on the TV. You have to actually jump in there and do what you can do to make things better. And that's one of the things that we have to do as a people, sticking together, loving each other, looking out for one another, and one thing, a lot of people are still forgetting to do in this pandemic is that let's support minority businesses. Let's keep them going. A lot of them are closing down because of the fact that, that not too many people are out there spending a lot of money. But if we are going to spend it, let's go ahead and patronize a lot of the minority businesses so they can stay open and so that we could cater to them and help them out.
Definitely. And in regards to the white lady in Florida, I had shared that video, and I had someone ask, like, why are you sharing, this racism? Why are you sharing that later? You're just getting stuff started. And I'm like, no. If we have rodents, if we have bugs, we got roaches, and we go to bed at night and we lay down and rest for the night, but we get up in the middle of the night and we go and we turn the light on and we see those bugs scattered. We just put the spotlight on those bugs.
Exactly.
Those bugs have ceased doing whatever they was doing. You know what I'm saying? Getting a drink of water, eating a potato chip that fell behind the chair, whatever they was doing. Once that light came on, you know what I'm saying? And that's what we got to do in this cancel culture is put the light on it. A lot of people, and I'm not saying that they're being dishonest or untruthful. A lot of people think that racism isn't as prevalent today as it was years ago. But when you see videos like what we're speaking of, we know for a fact. And we as an organization, of course, know, but I'm saying people that don't have that knowledge, ignorance isn't necessarily stupidity. Ignorance is lack of knowledge. So once you get that knowledge, then that gives you the ability to be educated about what's happening in this world. Gerald, New Order, when each one of us as a member get a chance to, but Gerald more so than all of us, like you said, during this pandemic, it's become a challenge. But you know what? Our CEO, which is why he's our leader, he doesn't let that keep him from networking and getting out there. Just a couple of days ago, he came back from Greenville, South Carolina, and his agenda and his mission was merely to go down there and network. Our mission, has God at the very top paramount of what, our commitment and our service and what we as an organization believe in. And Gerald is not letting the coronavirus, he's not letting this pandemic stop him one bit. He was down in he was down in Greenville. He also sat down and had a video for those that are watching on social media. Go on Facebook to Gerald Rose page, or go to our page, New Order, and see that video with an activist down there by the name of Tracy Font. It was a very stimulating and very educational video that he did. And the point is that, we are in challenging times, but, we as a people, we have been through challenging times before. That's what makes us, that's what gives us our identity and strength as a people, is our ability to survive and strive through adversity and challenge. And I just appreciate that we are a part of an organization where we have such a strong leader like Gerald E. Rose that and it's not taking risks. He's very wise. He knows, when he's out there and about and networking that we still have to wear our masks. We still have to, keep our sanitized situations going on with the wipes and the all that. But I applaud him for being out there and doing that. And I'm proud of our organization. I'm proud of you, Greg. I'm proud of our board of directors. I'm proud of our members. As you see, we're donning our New Order shirts. And by the way, if anybody watching would like to order a New Order shirt, they can call that same 100 hotline, that 1-800-346-5138. They can get hoodies, they can get masks, and get T-shirts. All of these are for sale and for the public. And if you want to become a member of New Order National Human Rights Organization, you can call that 1-800 number as well and speak to someone, and we can get you involved and we can get you joined up. 1-800-346-5138. And if you want to see what we're about, like I said, we're on social media. We also have our own website, www.nonhro.org. You can come check us out. See what our mission statement is about, and if it feels like it's something that fits, that you'd like to try on, like this great T-shirt, give us a call. Check our website out.
Definitely. Like I said, there's so many things going on. There was a big eruption going on the other side of the world earlier. I think that there was what was that? An explosion, a fireworks explosion. And
I did hear about that.
Yeah, there was a firework explosion, and that was what was that at? That was I'm trying to remember where that was at. That was I think, was it somewhere close to Australia? I know it was. That was in actually Beirut, Lebanon. Yeah, Beirut, Lebanon. They had a big explosion over there. And I know, and just talking about what was going on with the people, how sometimes we get sort of pinned in situations that we really don't want to be in. There was a young lady that had bought some ice cream from an ice cream store, and someone called the police and said that she was actually in a shootout with someone. So when the police got there, even though she was sitting in her car eating her ice cream, they pulled guns out on her and made her get out of her car. This woman was pregnant, and they made her get out of her car. Walk backwards, and put the handcuffs on her because they said that she was involved in a shooting. Two people pulling out a gun on each other in a shooting. That was that Monday, July the 27th, in Evansville location. And it's like, but soon after the police got there, they realized that it was all a hoax. Somebody had called the police, unwarranted. There was nothing going on, that they needed to be there. And that's why I really believe that, when people are making these false claims, that somebody is harassing them, hurting them, or trying to call the police on somebody that's just basically minding their own business. There has to be consequences for that, or either it's going to keep on happening. And we can't keep letting this happen to innocent people and stuff, because that could have turned out really bad for that young lady who was just sitting there minding her own business. Like I said, saying she was pregnant, and opposed to it, if she had a gun in her possession just for safety reasons, that could have gone bad. Because and we as citizens deal with stuff like this more than usual. Like you said, a lot of people don't actually believe that all this stuff is going on until you actually show them. That stuff doesn't really happen. That's just propaganda or whatever. No, this actually happens. There was another young lady who was actually a police officer that had posted a couple of days ago where she had actually got stopped in her uniform, and two armed police officers harassed her in her uniform. And she said that, if if she wasn't in uniform and she was just in her regular street clothes and t-shirts, when they asked her to get her information and stuff, she reached in her glove box and there was a gun in there. If she said that that could have went really bad if she didn't have her uniform on, where a regular civilian, she possibly could have been shot to death, and then and they could have said that she reached for her gun, which is crazy. And she said that she would have thought she would have got more respect from them because she was in uniform. But even with the uniform on, and they could see that she was a uniformed officer, they didn't care. They still treated her like trash. So of course she went to the station and reported them, and of course the chief of police said that that's not the way that they train their officers. But a lot of these officers that are out here doing these negative things to people, they were trained how to do things properly, but they just chose to do the opposite. It's almost like a bad child, or they say a preacher's child. So sometimes are the worst ones, where that inside of their household they've been properly taught and trained how to do things the right way. But when they're away from the household, they chose to do what they want to do, not what they've been taught to do. So just having the proper training, it's not going to prevent these things from happening. These officers have to decide for themselves in their heart that they want to do the right thing and not harass people and not be racist. So,
we build relationships. New Order National Human Rights Organization. We build relationships with sheriff's department, the police department, the chief of police of these departments throughout these United States of America, for simply that reason. We have to address the quote unquote bad cop. We have to address the behaviors of unstable police officers across these United States. The unfortunate reality, the fact of the matter is, I saw the young federal officer as well. She had more, jurisdiction than the officers that pulled her over. She's a federal officer. But the thing of it is, the fact of the matter, the reality is George Floyd was not just a isolated occurrence. Breonna Taylor was not an isolated occurrence. All the deaths that have happened under the gun of police officers and all of the negative police brutality cases throughout America, these are not isolated occurrences. Fact of the matter is, it's going to happen again. Hate to be the dark, pronouncer of the future. Thing of it is, the sad reality is, there's going to be children getting murdered in our communities. There's going to be black on black crime, just like it's white on white crime, and Chinese on Chinese crime, and Irish on Irish crime. We have to stop us being African Americans, and of the black communities, the Irish can speak for themselves. The Chinese can speak for themselves. When it comes to us, we're speaking on behalf of the black community. Now, we're a human rights organization, so we fight for the rights of all, irregardless of color, religion, race. But when it hits home, when the chickens are at roost point, and we're dealing with police brutality as far as our people, then that's where the passion comes from, and that's where we feel there has to come an end to this culture that feels like, oh, when I pull over an African American and when I pull over a black person, I don't have to treat them with the same respect or the same type of decorum as I would treat someone, of another race. Those days will eventually come to an end. And organizations like us, it is our job to push that day even closer to the dateline. Because like I said, unfortunately, I wish we could sit here and talk like, oh, a new day has dawned and we no longer have to worry about, officers putting their feet on our necks. We no longer have to worry about traffic stops where, the people in the car are innocent and it is just a case of mistaken identity. But we're going to have all these women come out and lay on the hot Arizona ground and be uncomfortable. Those days are present as we speak. So organizations like ours, it is our job to be the voice for those people that cannot speak for themselves or are challenged by the injustices that they face, and which is why we ask so diligently and humbly for you in the nation that want justice to give us a call. And that's New Order National Human Rights Organization. You can call us at 1-800-346-5138. You can go to our website at www.nonhro.org and see what we're about. We just want to be there to serve people that need our help. We speak on various topics and hot topics and things that are going on across the nation. But I want you viewers to know, on a day-to-day basis, I'm going to be speaking with someone in the morning in regards to her loved one being unjustly handled in the court system. I can't go into detail because these are all private conversations that I have until they become public. But just to let you know, this isn't something that just happens rarely or on occasion. This is a day-to-day fight that we're in. And I'm just glad that the Lord allowed me to be of service for my community through New Order National Human Rights Organization, because people like Greg and myself and Leonard Jones Jr., our spokesperson, and Shauna Swearington, and our executive secretary, Jeanette Eason Fields. We do this daily. It's not something that we're sitting around and we calling each other up. Hey, Greg, man, anything going on your way, man? No, man, it's been kind of slow, man. Oh well. No, this
There's
happens
always something going on.
daily. There's always something going on. So hopefully, if you feel the need to be of service in your community, give us a call and we'll get you going. Shout out to our Toledo chapter, Sabrina Jameson and Joe Johnson, and shout out to you guys up there because you're doing an excellent job. Shout out to all our Chantel. Shout out to everyone in the nation that's a part of organizations like ours and New Order National Human Rights, because the agenda may vary, but it's all towards the same goal, is justice.
Exactly. And that's why we have these talks right here, one-on-one with New Order, so the people can get a better understanding of what we do, who we are, what we're about, and how they could be a part of the movement and the mission that we actually take on when we become a member of New Order. And that goes for like New Order for life, because everybody that works with us, take on a certain responsibility as far as, if you see something, say something. And don't say it quietly, say it out loud so that people can hear us and be aware of the issues so that we can correct those or fight to correct these issues. So like John said, this is an organization where we have a lot of proud people. We like to give a shout out to all of our members, wherever you are, and for all of your hard work.
Shout out to our newest member out on the West Coast in Seattle, Whitney Price. He does excellent commentary. He keeps us updated on what's going out. He's way out west. He's 3,000 miles from us. So he keeps us updated. He keeps us informed. He's right there on the pulse, especially in Portland. He's like an hour away from Portland. He actually, I believe, works in Oregon. So he keeps us informed of what's going on out there. It's very tense right now out there with all the protests as well. So shout out to you, Whitney. We appreciate everything that you're doing, coming in as a new member and hitting the ground running. And like Greg said, we don't, we are all family. You know, we all are on the same level. No one has any higher title than the next. Even Gerald, if you look at his elbows, they are extremely dirty, full of justice on each elbow. You know, he gets out there and he gets in the trenches. So, you know, we are all equally a part of this passion and this service that we do.
Yes, yes. So, like you said, a lot of things going on. If you have something that you want us to be a part of, definitely contact us and let us know. We're working diligently to help people out where we can. We're not going to guarantee you that we're going to be able to handle a lot of cases, but we will promise you we will do what we can do to help you out. A lot of things are beyond our hands or scope of things that we are able to do. But if we can help you or give you some information that can help your situation, we definitely will. Like John also said, we have been building relationships with a lot of these police stations, a lot of these officers and these chief of police in these different states and these different areas, so that we will have a common ground, so that when things do happen, we won't be the outsider. You know, we have established, you know, communication with those people, so that we can go in there and sit down with them one-on-one and find out what the issue is and how can we rectify this issue before it gets out of hand or gets blown out of proportion. So that's one thing that we do. We try to remedy situations that are out there, you know. But I do want to, like I said, remind people, if they do want to join organizations, don't hesitate to look us up, look at our website, call the 1-800 number, get your T-shirts, new order. We definitely have the T-shirts, and we also have the new order mask that you can also order right now. So don't leave that portion of it out, because of the fact that a lot of our members already have them. If you don't have one, be sure to go ahead and call us and get it ordered right now, so it can be on the way. I want to actually give another shout out to Knowledge. You know, do the Knowledge Truth radio show. So he's definitely one of the realest guys I've ever met. He definitely puts it out there on Front Street, you know, raw and uncut, giving you the truth wherever you're at. You know, he doesn't just focus on people in one area. He's all over. Knowledge is like global. You know, he gets around. So I've seen a lot of people on his show that are, you know, well versed in many areas of the world. So I want to commend Knowledge for his efforts on always putting the stuff out there, so the community people can be aware of what's going on and take part in it. And just communication, I love it, man. You know, so we definitely want to sort of keep that going.
Definitely. Shout out to Brother Knowledge. You know, he spoke earlier about, you know, a couple weeks ago, you know, maybe dropping the ball and, you know, not being able to handle this and that. Man, look, I know somebody when they plate is full, man, because, you know, I see stuff falling over, you know, so that was just something that fell over on your plate, brother. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you and applaud you. You know, I wish my plate was as full. You know, not too many people can say, hey, man, I dropped the ball, because I had so many things going on at one time. And those things that I had going on was my contribution to the uplifting of our people. So, my dear brother, I am humbly proud to be a part of that plate. Thank you, Brother Knowledge, for all that you do for our organization and for just the consciousness and the uplifting of the people all over. Appreciate you 100%.
Definitely. And so what we do now is that we were also a part of a program with Miss Swearington, a member of our organization, the vice president. She also partakes in picking up clothes and donation clothes for women and men to take to the shelters and the places where they need them, and getting those out to them, you know, because that's definitely needed for these programs, for these people that don't have clothes and don't have shoes, that don't have shirts, underwear, things of that nature. So New Order is a part of a lot of things that's definitely needed in our community. We also were going out to a lot of the uh, places, speaking with some of the people that were just getting out of jail, some of the homeless shelters, speaking with them about, giving them some motivational courage and inspiring words, because sometimes we all need that in life. You never know how people's day is going. When just that little, hey, how you doing? Have a great day, could change the whole world. So, always remember that, to be encouraging to people and to be uh, aware of, of people have feelings too, because a lot of times, if you meet people on the street, why are you speaking to me? Do I know you? Don't have that attitude. Just be happy that somebody else is happy, and and just speak. I mean, that's the way of the South. They call it Southern hospitality. That's what we do. You walk or ride down the street, the people sitting on the porch just wave at you. For no apparent reason. They don't really know you, but they just want to speak to you. Hey, how you doing? Wishing you a wonderful day. That's how the world needs to be. That's how we got to get back again. To that, love thy neighbor. And also for, like I said, it takes a village to raise your kids, where everybody looks out for everybody in the neighborhood. It didn't matter if your kids were, weren't my kids. I'm still going to tell your kids, hey, if they're doing something wrong, hey, stop that. Don't do that. I'm going to tell your mother. I'm going to tell your father when they get home. And they knew not to do that around you, because they knew that you were going to go back and tell. And that you were going to get it. So we have to go back, because a lot of times people, like, they go by the no snitching rule now, where they don't want to say nothing about nothing that's going on, but yet and still they live in this filth. They live in this corruption and this crime infested area, where they can actually change it just by speaking up, about what's going on. We don't have to be in these situations. A lot of times we choose to, out of fear, and by us sticking together, saying there's nothing that we should be afraid of. If there's one person in your neighborhood causing a lot of issues, that one person's not going to beat everybody in the neighborhood. Just saying everybody get together and stand up for what's right. That's what we got to do. It's just like, when you see an ant outside, uh, it might find a pear or a fruit that's like 1,000 times bigger than it is. It won't try to move that fruit by itself. It goes and gets all of his friends, his family, and all his buddies. The next thing you know, you see like 1,000 ants kind of coming from out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? And they think, they got that fruit on their back and they carried it. I'm like, okay, then how do they do that? That's what we can do as a people. Get together. Talk to people about the issues and stuff, and everybody get together. And there's power in numbers, so the numbers have to make sense. So no. And a lot of times it's okay to go ahead and speak your mind, but also get supporters like we have, people that support us and are inspired by the things that we do on a daily basis, so that we can actually make some of the changes that need to be made in legislative and around in our neighborhoods.
Definitely. And this is said with a little bit of jest, so I don't want people to, take me literal. But you know how they say, if you see a little bad kid out there acting bad, just follow them home. You know what I'm saying? Usually it's going to be some bad parents at the door. Like I said, I'm saying that in jest, but I'm saying that to say this. If you're critical, if you're pointing the finger at this young generation, if you're saying, hey, this young generation ain't like our generation when we was, you know what? If you're critical of the new generation, turn around and take a look at yourself, because any generation follows the generation before it, the generation that preceded it. So, we have to be the elders. We have to be, like Greg said, the people in the community that demand respect, that demand that you don't put trash in our neighbor's yard, that you don't walk by and are disrespectful. Greg speaks of the Southern hospitality. I was So honored to live in the South for a few years. And he's definitely right. It's a different culture down there. They have a different type of respect. I can definitely back that up and say I witnessed it myself. But what I feel so good about is what has transpired over these last few months, be it the violence that we faced, and be it the situations with the protesting, and be it the coronavirus or the pandemic. But for some strange, odd reason, I feel a change. I speak to young people these days because I always speak. And oftentimes in the past, I didn't get a response back. But today, I can honestly say that I can speak and I get a response from young people. Hey, how you doing, young man? Hello, sir. Wow. I can walk by a man like myself, a grown man, and rather than us mean mugging each other, I see a nod. I see it. All right now. So it's we're getting there. We're getting there is what I mean to say. But we can't stop. We can't drop the ball. We can't get comfortable like we've been comfortable in the past. Now is not the time to ease up. Now is the time to go even harder. Because if we want change, we got to be the change that we want to see. That be it in our communities, be it in our neighborhoods, be it in the society, be it in our nation. We have to be the change. I came into this organization, and Gerald used to speak on it all the time. He says, "Man, don't be reactive, be proactive." And I used to scratch my head like, "What is he talking about? Proactive, reactive?" Well, I came into the organization because my brother lost his life in violent. He was violently murdered. You know what I'm saying? It was tragic for our family, but I told myself after his death, I said, you know what? I'm not no angel. I was out there in the streets. You know what I'm saying? I did my street bid. I did my time out there in the streets. That's why I know about code, and I know about, how things should be done out there in the streets. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, when you speak of snitching and that, I know better. Like I said, ignorance and stupidity, there's a fine line, but there is a difference. A lot of people are ignorant to the fact that if a law-abiding citizen tells on a situation he's seen in his community that was wrong or unjust, that they're snitching. They're not snitching. You know what I'm saying? They don't have anything to do with it. They're not associated. They don't have a cousin, a friend, or family member in that situation, and they see a murder or they see a crime, then that is their right to speak on it and bring that situation to justice. Because there is a street code.
Now, John, do you think that we, as a generation or the generation before these kids that are out there now, we dropped the ball? Because I remember that when I was growing up, we got whooped. There wasn't no timeout. Timeout didn't exist when we got our butts whooped. If there wasn't a switch out there available, if it was too cold, we got a belt. If the belt wasn't available, then whatever hard that they could hit us with, that's what we got. And then after that, there was a generation where you can't touch the kids. They're just the babies. Let's put them in timeout. That wasn't our culture. You know what I'm saying? We were taught to go ahead and teach them wrong from right. They're gonna learn today. So now that next generation of timeout kids, since they were never really properly, in my opinion, disciplined. Now they're out there doing everything, up under the sun, and it's just a bad situation. You can't tell them nothing. They don't want to listen to you. They have no respect for anybody, their elders or anything like that, because they weren't made, a lot of times too, the parents didn't teach their kids the proper manners and things. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Yes, sir. No, sir.
Right.
Open a door for a lady, or help an elderly person across the street like we were taught when we were young. These days, I see people at red lights, as soon as the light turns green, they're honking the horn. They don't even give you a chance to even put your foot on the gas. They're honking the horns and cursing you out. I'm like, calm down. It's not that serious, So, they're so impatient.
Right. And it's not necessarily the disciplinarian, the one that brought us up in the right way, that spanked our hand when we was doing wrong, the neighbor that looked out. If you were down there acting a fool, they would let you know about it. They would even call you on it. Some of them might even put their hand to your backside, and when you got home, you got the same thing. Not necessarily those that dropped the ball. When I speak of dropping the ball, I'm saying I come from a generation of the crack era. And so a lot of parents weren't necessarily upstanding parents during that time. A lot of the children from that era grew up in households that weren't 100% a part of a nucleus that loved and looked out for. A lot of our children's children were raised out in the streets.
So so
Gangs,
they raise themselves basically.
they raised themselves. So
Yeah.
in those regards, and then you have people of an ill mindset. You have your abusers. You have your child molesters. You have these children that are missing now, and you wonder, where are these children? Well, you have to understand. Okay, there is a whole generation of these negative and dark people that drop the ball. So when I say, when you want to criticize this generation, look at the generation beforehand. I'm not talking about the upstanding righteous people that, you know what I'm saying, were about raising their kids and treating their children right and treating that generation so they understood between right and wrong. I'm talking about the people that turn their heads when they see things going on and they don't want to speak on it. Those are the ones that have dropped the ball for our this generation.
Exactly. And it looks like us, even up in our age, are going to have to just pick that ball up and run with it.
Yes.
Because teach these newer kids what they need to do. Because I see them paying attention. A lot of things that, like when they were doing a lot of the rioting and picketing, and at these places and stuff. I seen a lot of the young people with their high energy out there fighting for the people. So I see them paying attention. We just got to keep them motivated and keep them moving in the right direction.
Stokely Carmichael, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. These people, at the time and the height of the movement, these were young people. These weren't people of my age. They were very young at what they're doing. And I went to a few protests here in the state of Ohio. And, I saw these young people. Dave Chappelle made a statement on his now famous 846 comedy or commentary show, in which he said he doesn't have a problem letting the young folks drive the wheel. He's very comfortable with sitting at the back seat. I witnessed it myself. These young people know exactly what they need to do moving forward, and how to handle themselves accordingly. All they need is our support. All they need is for us, if they need it, to give them direction. Just to be there in a supporting cast role. And I feel, what I'm saying, that we're in a good place right now. We'll be all right. There are a lot of those young people and generation that's still, out in the shadowlands, out there, left to the wayside. Hopefully, what I'm saying, there are people in our area of service that are there for them. A lot of clients that come to me, it's not the clients calling that need the help. They're calling for their children. They're calling for people that are young and incarcerated and been sentenced hundreds of years for simple crimes. Those are the ones that need to be saved and need to have that type of support and be there for them. That's who we have to be there for. And like you said, Greg, in our communities, man, like I said, if you see injustice, if you see wrongs being done, speak on it. You know, and that doesn't make you a snitch. I don't say run to the phone and call the police officer as soon as you see something going on. I mean, if like you said, if there are twos and fews in our communities, in our neighborhoods, that's tearing up our communities and doing wrong, we can get together as a community and tell them to leave. You know, when I was a child growing up, here we go with that, you know what I'm saying, cliche. But when I was a child, you know, when I walked to the store and I wanted to cross Miss Johnson's yard to get a little shortcut, and that yard was beautifully trimmed and had flowers and had a wonderful garden, I bet not putting my foot nowhere near that yard. You understand what I'm saying? But if I walk in a neighborhood now and I see trash on the yard, I see cans, bottles, I'm not going to feel like, oh, if I put my foot on that ground, on that grass, that I'm going to get in trouble. Nobody's respecting that trash. Why should I? Nobody's respecting that yard. So that's what we have to change. We have to change the culture. We have to change the mindset. We have to say, well, maybe Miss Johnson, there's a reason why Miss Johnson's yard is in such a state. Let's clean up Miss Johnson's yard for her so that, you know, her grass, let's cut Miss Johnson's yard, you know, and not ask for anything in return. Then when a child walks by it and sees the clean yard, maybe they'll have a second thought. Well, I wouldn't step on that grass. Well, look how nice it is. Somebody might say something to me about that.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I think we're right at the 1 hour mark. So I don't know if Knowledge wants to come back in and
Knowledge got his plate full, man. He can't come back there, but we just had to close out ourselves, man. What, brother Knowledge, where you at? He about 3-4 podcasts going on at the same time.
Yeah.
Brother Knowledge.
Yeah. But I definitely see Knowledge, you know, as this organization builds and as he what he's doing grows, you know, I see him taking over, you know, a lot of stuff, you know. So people that don't know Knowledge, you know, do your research and get to know him. You know, he's definitely a great guy to work with. So, you know, we definitely want to support him in all his ventures.
That's by going to Do the Knowledge Radio for starters. You can go to Do the Knowledge Radio. Man, I done seen so many celebrities on the show, so many people of the conscious community on his show that, you know, saying just always giving knowledge. Always, if you ever wanted to know about Yo-Yo and what she believes in and, you know, her background, you know, I've seen her on there. I've seen the brother from Black Sheep, Dre, you know, I've seen the brother from I can't think of his name right now, but yeah, I mean, I'm an entertainer, man. I'm a creative. I do music, man. So he has a lot of entertainers on there, a lot of celebrities, like I said, a lot of people from the conscious community, a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, that do the same thing as we do on his shows, and speak on justice and speak on politics. I mean, he just has a full, when I say his plate is full, I don't say that in just, I'm serious as a heart attack. You know what I'm saying? Brother Knowledge is putting that information out there. It's up to you to grab it and get you a piece if you want. You
Exactly.
know, but he's offering it. You know what I'm saying? He got that plate out there. It ain't like he's keeping the plate to himself. He like, hey man, you want a couple wings, get a couple of these ribs, man. Get you some. So yeah,
Exactly.
Make sure you guys go to Do the Knowledge Radio. Go to his page on social media, on Facebook, and see what he's got brewing, man, because he's got a lot of stuff going on. And I'm telling you, I'm sure he's got about 2 or 3 podcasts going on right now. That's why he's confident. You know, he's comfortable with us. We know what to do. You know what I'm saying? We good. You know what I'm saying? We can sit here and communicate between each other, man, and get the job done, man. But yeah, brother Knowledge, I'm so happy, man. I remember when the brother was upstate, up west in Seattle at the onset, at the beginning of the thing he's doing right now, man, and he's grown so far from that, and I'm just proud of him, man, like a prouder older brother, or like a big unc, you know. that's my name out on the street, Uncle Drum. You know what I'm saying? So Uncle Drum is proud of your nephew.
Oh yeah,
Very
yeah.
proud. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But yeah, this airtime, since we, have it, I know we want to wrap it up. I know there are things we want to do to conclude and go on with our evening, and our listening audience can go on with their evening. But, to wrap it up, we can once again let them know, like I said, like Greg said, we got T-shirts, we got hoodies, we got masks. Um, if you're interested, if you think, what Greg got on looks kind of special, give us a call, 1-800-346-5138, and you can order these T-shirts. They're not expensive in the least. In fact, they're quite inexpensive. I've heard a lot of people quote prices on T-shirts, and ours are on the low range. So we have an awesome clothing designer that's down with us by the name of Cole Patterson, works out of Atlanta, Georgia. Shout out to brother Cole Patterson. He just don't do T-shirts, y'all. I mean, this man is a designer for real. So to have him, working with us is truly a blessing. So I want to shout out to him, appreciate him. If you want to see what's going on with Cole, he's on social media as well. I mean, he does purses, he does women's clothing, men's clothing. He cuts hair. Did you know that, Greg? He cuts hair for the NBA basketball players. Yes. You
No, I
gotta
didn't
check
know
my man
that.
Cole. Yes, you gotta take my man Cole out. Cole ain't no joke. My nickname for Cole is Boss. When I holler at Cole, I say, "What's up, boss?" Because he's a true boss, man. He's a true entrepreneur, man, and he's out there doing big things, man. So, like I said, when I seen him doing shirts for us, man, I knew it was a blessing from our higher power, man. Because he's doing great things, man. He does a lot of things for the community as well. But yeah, if you want a nice shirt from a top clothing designer, especially if you are want to be a part of our New Order family, just give us a call, 1-800-346-5138. If you want to know what we're about, if you're hearing us running our mouths and working our jawbones about what we do, if you want to see it in action, go to our website, www.nonhro.org. See what we're about. See what our mission statement is about. Go to our social media. We're on social media. Greg has a page. I have a page. Gerald has a page. Our organization has a page. We're out there. Shauna Swearington, Leonard Jones Jr. We're out there. Greg is very humble. He spoke on our vice president. Yes, she also runs the youth and outreach department in our organization. But she can't thrive and can't do what she does without donations. And Greg is a large, big donator to that clothing drive that he talks about. I see Greg pull up on the pictures and stuff, and I'm like, man, before Greg got there, Shauna had an empty car. Now I'm looking into the car filled up. She can barely get in the car now,
Hey.
and then once she drops that off, Greg, the very next week or 2 weeks later, talking about you need some more donation. I got you. So appreciate that 100%. Like I said, the humbleness of my brother Greg Giles, he has a lot of things going on in motion, but he, along with his humbleness, is his intelligence. He doesn't spit it out or speak it out until he's ready for it to be ready for the public. But we talk often, man, and I see big things going on down the road for New Order, and Greg has a lot to do with our next level, shall I say. When we move into a higher plateau, Greg is actually going to be standing there with the door open talking about, I've remodeled, I got the place right for y'all. Come on in.
Come on in.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Come on in. We got plenty of room for everybody.
Speaking of coming on in, Knowledge, where you at, man? Come on in, man. We gonna wrap this up, brother. So if you need us to, we can end it, or you will come in and do the what do you call that when the preacher got the last thing he says?
Outro.
Yeah, the outro. Yeah, come on in with the outro, brother. If not, in within the next few minutes, man, we're just gonna shut it down. We appreciate the audience for viewing in. We thank you. We do this every Tuesday. Usually, our CEO Joe E. Rose is a one-on-one session. We have that on Tuesdays at 6:00 each evening. We're sitting in on his behalf because he unfortunately is at a candlelight visual for the young girl that lost her life, Sequoia Turner. They asked if he would be a part of it tonight. So, he said, well, you know what? I have a show to do, but I'm going to let Greg and John take over that so I can go to the candlelight visual. Prayers to the little lady, Sequoia Turner's family. Prayers for Breonna Taylor. Prayers for George Floyd. Prayers for Aubrey. What's Aubrey's last name? Greg. Ahmaud Aubrey. I'm sorry. Prayers for Ahmaud Aubrey's family. Prayers for all those who've lost their lives, their families, who've lost loved ones, due to the unjust actions of others. If you ever wonder where the passion comes from, if you ever wonder why organizations like New Order National Human Rights Organization, why we do what we do, is exactly for that. We wish we didn't have a job. We wish we didn't have to be the voice for the voiceless. We wish we lived in a world where justice was justified, and the court systems didn't hand out unequaled sentencing. We wish we lived in a world where when the police pulled you over, they acted as servants, for the people, and what they truly are and what they truly are supposed to be. If that was the case, then there would be no need for this organization. Unfortunately, there is a need for this organization, and until there isn't a need for these type of organizations like New Order National Human Rights Organization, we'll be fighting diligently to make sure that we lose our jobs somewhere down the road.
Somewhere down the line.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're going to fight hard for that. Yes, sir. Well, Greg, should we just head out and close, or how do you think we should do it, man?
Yeah, I definitely want to go ahead and get close this out. Like I said, once again, you can check.
I see him. There
check
he is.
Out.
He put
give
his
us a call
down.
at 1-800-346-5138. That number again is 1-800-346-5138.
Brother Knowledge put his plate down just long enough to come back and close us out. We appreciate you, Brother Knowledge. I was telling the listening audience, man, how hard you work. So I already know. There might be some out there in the audience, in the listening, viewing world that don't know how hard you work, brother. But I'm gonna let you know, me and Greg understand, we respect you and appreciate you, my brother. He had Biden on one of the phone
my
lines
connection
talking to him.
Is bad over here, so it's been breaking up like most of the broadcast. So I'm just glad that y'all were on and be able to hold the show down in my absence, because it's been very intermittent with this connection. So
already early, anytime, my brother. Yes, sir.
Hopefully, I get to see Greg this weekend. While I'm in Atlanta, we could do.
Let's make it happen, man. Let's make it happen.
So, yeah,
by any means necessary.
Back together.
Exactly.
Amen.
Exactly.
Amen. I wish I was down there with y'all, man.
John, before we go, you seen your family out there. They was all fresh. They was in the videos and stuff. You know what I'm saying? New Order. In hip hop videos. I don't know what's going on out here.
New Order in movies.
I called it New Order Nation, like Rhythm Nation, a couple weeks ago. I said they was in there looking like Rhythm Nation. So it was New Order Nation out there.
Right.
They had it going on.
I'm not gonna lie. I was jealous, man. I do music. I like videos. You know what I'm saying? I wish I was down there.
I was in town and I didn't get the end right. So, I was
Oh,
stuck.
I feel you. Man, it's all good. Hey, what we gonna do is we gonna coordinate our trajectory, and we gonna get down there at the same time. Me and you both, man. We gonna drop down on them.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
All right. So y'all got any closing remarks before we get out of here? Y'all could do so at this time.
Greg.
Well, I just want to go ahead and thank the people that are listening, checking us out today. Be sure to go ahead, like you said, check us out. Check out our website. Check us out on social media sites. And also, if you see something, say something. Open your mouth and don't open it quietly. Open it loud so that the world can hear and see what's going on. I want to thank everybody that made this possible. Knowledge, John Drummond, and myself. And also, in the absence of our CEO, Jill Rose, who's actually down there on live with the visual tonight. We definitely want to make sure that everybody check that out. You got any closing remarks you want to say, John?
Nah, man, once I'm done, man. My stomach's talking to me, man. If it talks any louder, it might carry the broadcast, man. Y'all start talking about, John, if there's somebody there with you. No, man, it's just stomach growling. I'm going to fill my plate up like knowledges, but it won't be a plate full of knowledge. It's going to be a plate full of food. So, with that, I appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all for all y'all do, man. But I'm about to head on out and burn something.
All right, y'all take it easy, man. Be safe out there.
All right, my brothers.
All right.
All right, one.
All right, so that was one-on-one real talk. When you want to make sure you check them out every Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and every third Tuesday they have a show on our Blog Talk station, and they are on 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So every third Tuesday we get 2 shows from New Orleans. So shout out to the president, CEO, Mr. Gerald Emerson Rose, and this dynamic, not I, but we dream team, New Order, National Human Rights Organization. So I'll be on in 18 minutes or 20 minutes with my brother, Bossed Up Stacks, and his guest, who couldn't make it earlier, be on at about 8 o'clock or so. So be tuned in for that. And with that, I say peace, love, black power. Be Folier, be between me.
Yeah. Now we gonna tell them. That in front. We tell them like this, yo. I'm an African. I'm a African. I'm an African. I'm a African. Yeah, y'all like that? No more. This man's mind is open. I'm an African. I'm a African. I'm an African. I'm a. Let's get back to the
motive is best developed by recognizing the common enemy.